Digital economy, youth empowerment, and sustainable job creation are interconnected topics that hold significant importance in the context of Nigeria's economic development. Nigeria, as a country rich in youthful population and potential, stands to benefit greatly from harnessing the power of digital technologies to empower the youth and create sustainable job opportunities. However, several issues, challenges, and opportunities exist in this realm, shaping the landscape of the country's economic future. The digital economy refers to an economy that is based on digital technologies encompassing various sectors such as e-commerce, digital finance, telecommunications, and information technology. In Nigeria, the digital economy has been experiencing steady growth, driven by factors such as increasing internet penetration, a rise in mobile phone usage, and government initiatives to promote digital innovation. Hello and thanks for joining us on today's episode of Digital Economy. I am Chana Ejoga. Welcome back. Now, Nigeria boasts of a significant youth population with a large percentage under the age of 30. Creating sustainable job opportunities is vital for reducing unemployment and fostering economic growth in Nigeria. The digital economy presents unique opportunities for job creation, particularly in sectors such as technology, e-commerce, and digital services. By supporting entrepreneurship and innovation, Nigeria can create employment opportunities that are resilient and adaptable to changing market dynamics. Empowering the Nigerian youth entails equipping them with the necessary skills, resources, and opportunities to thrive in the digital age. Initiatives such as vocational training programs, coding boot camps, and entrepreneurship incubators play a crucial role in enhancing digital literacy and fostering innovation among the youths, as these are crucial for the country's socio-economic development. Some of the challenges that affect the growth of Nigeria's digital economy is the lack of an enabling environment that supports digital innovation, digital skills gap that needs to be bridged by providing the relevant training and education, lack of improved digital infrastructure, and proper collaboration between government and private sectors and civil societies to maximize opportunities presented by the digital economy. Joining us today is the beacon of national progress, a generous soul dedicated to making a difference, and a fervent advocate for visionary leadership in Nigeria. Please, let's welcome Mr. Tonye Cole, MNI.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching NIPSS Policy TV.
It's new, it's fresh, it's all about policies and strategies. Watch out for NIPSS Policy TV programs on NTA News 24. Tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, Star Times Channels 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703. Miss this and miss out on policies that will affect you and our country. Join us.
Hello and thanks for joining us. Today on the program, we have Mr. Tonye Cole, MNI. So, sir, how can the Nigerian government incentivize more digital entrepreneurship amongst youths?
You know, that was a question or the theme of why this SEC is critical to the Nigerian government. First and foremost, like I said in my lecture, 170 million people It's a large number.
Yeah.
Large number. So how do you incentivize it? The first aspect of it is that every human being likes the ability to express themselves. So look at why do you think TikTok and WhatsApp and all of those things work, social media and all? Because people can express themselves hidden behind some digital faceless identity and they express themselves. So what should the Nigerian government do? Tap on what people love to do the most. And what do they love to do? Express themselves. Give them that platform where they can express themselves, then figure out how to monetize it. That's what makes a difference.
What are some strategies that can be implemented to provide access to digital skills training for young Nigerians?
There are platforms, digital platforms that you can do. You have access. So one of the challenges that most people have is a cost issue. You need to buy a tablet or a mobile phone or a computer and all of that. You need data. You need wireless services that come to you. For the government, even if they provided a digital innovation hub that says that we're going to give access, random access, 1 hour a day to people who can come and just use the service available and all of that. Let them come and use it as long as they agree that if they come up with any kind of innovative idea from there, that it will be taken and sponsored by the government and scoped in such a way that it becomes a big business. You'll be amazed the ideas that people have. You'll be amazed. So that's what opportunity is. If I can teach you or I can give you the access to come and use something that you did not have the ability to acquire before because your finances did not make sense, but you have the gift and the talent to do it, then give them the platform. And that's what government can do.
So you talk about having access to this platform and the government monetizing it. One major challenge is expensive data. How can the government really make that better for Nigerians?
Data is based on infrastructure, and infrastructure that you need to bring the cost down is the deployment of things like fiber, the deployment of things that the accessories that fiber will need. I went to visit a friend of mine who has a factory in Ogun State, and he does meters and smart boxes and all of those things. A component, a finished component that he manufactures in Nigeria, right? No, the government has not supported in any way. He has the ability to do it. So everything he has bought, the machines he has bought, the people that he pays and all of that to develop smart boxes and all of that, government gives an import tax, right, that is so high that it does not even make it worth his while to compete. But he's so determined that he must have Nigeria-based technology. Why? I said something today. Only someone who does not understand technology to the fullest will believe that any information that is given to you cannot be used by the person who has designed that software. Right? There are backdoors in technology that they create. Trapdoors, backdoors. They're collecting your information, whether you like it or not. Now, how they use it is up to them. Some use it well, some use it criminally. I went to visit a friend the other day in America. We were sitting down, we were talking, conversation. Just a normal conversation. I officiated at their wedding a couple of years ago. As we were speaking and all of that, the AI technology, Alexia picks up what we are saying in a conversation, and the next minute started bringing out pictures from that wedding. So what am I saying here? That's data. Essentially, they're using it to monetize, because what it's doing is that it's drawing your likes, where you are, who is coming to your house, what type of food do they like, so that they will start channeling merchandise towards you. You go and buy that merchandise. That's what AI is doing. But whose data are they collecting? It's your data. It's your data. So for us in Nigeria, we have data. Everything is a data point. Your 969 is data. How long did we wait is data. How long did it take for him to get his camera ready is data. The AI is figuring out how can we make it faster? Should we set up extension cable sales point in this area? Those are the kind of things that is happening. But it's data. It's just picking up all of this data. Now you're carrying all that data to America. They're using your data to send you merchandise. They know that in Nigeria now, what you need is extension cables because of our conversation. And they know you're not manufacturing extension cables, so they start shipping extension cables to Nigeria. This is what we're missing.
So how can public-private partnership play a role in fostering youth empowerment through digital incentives, and what policies can be put in place to support growth of startups and small businesses in the digital sector?
You know, when it comes to policies, we've enacted so many policies. So many there. You just do a set of policy, you will see all of them. Policy with this, policy for youth development, policy for so many policies. The question that we must ask ourselves is rather a different one. Why are they not working? Why are we still struggling? And when you begin to interrogate that question, rather than new policies that need to come in, you interrogate the question as to what exactly is preventing policy from working. And you will find that there are 3 or 4 main things. The first aspect of it is that there is a very ingrained selfishness amongst everybody, so that people who are meant to be providing a service to enable the youth or whoever to express themselves are blocking them. It becomes a hurdle point. So what is the need for the boys? What do you have for me before I allow you to move? That mindset needs to change. That mindset needs to change. It's one of the biggest things that we have. The second one is a trust issue. Almost every time I've come to see that you find that people just, once it comes to business and money, forget it. As soon as money comes in, everybody just, there's a total mistrust. Before then, you can be discussing all sorts of things. Oh, we can help, we'll do this policy. As soon as they now decide that, okay, it's time to bring money out to drive this innovation, we see something different. So these are things that we must address. The question is, are we ready as a nation? And do we have the political will to say for the first time that, you know what is the need monetarily for me is not important. What is important is how can I make this thing work for you?
Wow. That's really it. We have to all come from a point of selflessness. And the goal should be how we can build Nigeria to work for us.
It has to. It's not working for us.
So, sir, can you tell us how can access to technology infrastructure be improved to bridge the digital divide and empower more people?
So the policy is there, for example, that if I remember right, it says something about putting 100,000 kilometers of fiber optics. So government has made that intention. The policy is there. They've written what needs to be done in terms of a policy as to the rollout. But then the question is that, why is it not happening? If government has already said it, then why is it not happening? So the first one we've already discussed, the bottlenecks within the government itself that stops those who want to do it. So put that aside, let's assume that they do it. But the other issue there is financing. Okay, so to finance fiber optics, rollout and all of that, I have to be able to go to the bank or go to the government or go anywhere to say that, you know what, this is what I want to do. But fiber optics is a long-term infrastructure play. It is like building roads. There must be some outlet whereby the government says to you that, okay, if you lay fiber for 100 kilometers of fiber, for example, and we can see that you're going to lay 100 kilometers of fiber, then the revenue that you will generate for that fiber at this point in time is not something that we're going to touch. Just go ahead. You must be willing to allow people sincerely to invest and make a return on their investment now. But unfortunately, what we see, I'm a business person and a politician. What I see, first of all, is that government wants to extract their profit from you first. There's no business that can work that way. And so they want to extract their profit from you first in all sorts of things, apart from the hurdles I was talking about, even just official government. Yeah, it can't work.
So, sir, can you tell us how can access to technology infrastructure be improved to bridge the digital divide and empower more people?
I was looking through the youth policy, and first of all, as we speak, there's no youth policy right now that exists. Okay, as we speak. There's the last one. Let's assume it elapsed in 2023, which is when it was meant to elapse. The sincerity of a policy means that somebody else should have. Another one should be on, and then it should be in. So I'm not sure that policy that we put out is not done just to fulfill the righteousness that you must have a policy, because government works sometimes on ticking the box that if they say you must have a framework, then the framework is there. So what should be done is that we should be sincere with ourselves, really. Secondly, we should understand that there is value in all of this. The truth of the matter is that the amount of money that can be earned and generated for the government is stupendous. But the difference is that when it is earned for the government, it does not come to you. And because of the way it is earned, it goes into a central point, and the minute it has entered there, you can't touch it. So hence the hurdles. Let me collect my own now. Then whenever that one is going to go to the center, that can't work that way.
So what case study would you recommend for Nigeria to adopt to drive her process along this line?
That's a good one. So prior to coming to NIPSS, I had this very deep question about, one, does democracy work for us? Is it something that we just, let's agree, this thing is not working, what should we do? I needed to find out, if it does not work, is there an alternative? If it's working or it could work, what can we do? So case study became important. Which country closely resembles Nigeria that maybe we can do something? Nigeria is unique. There are so many things in Nigeria that you cannot find anywhere else. If you find something, you say, oh, that country is too small. That's why it's working. If you find another, they'll say, oh, they all speak the same language. That's why it's working. Oh, they are all Christian. That's why it's working. You know, people always give a reason why Nigeria doesn't work and why it works for them. They always give that reason. So what I found out was that there's a country that has the same kind of struggles that we have, came from the same kind of background that we have, has challenges like us, but it's managing, they're not the best, but it's managing to do things properly. And that country is India. So India is a good case study for Nigeria. Today, you find Indians like Nigerians all over the world. But Indians have managed to become prime minister in London. Indians are their governors. Indians are ministers and all of that. Okay. Why is it different? And all of that. There's cybersecurity issues in India. There's fraud in India. There's 419 in India. There are criminals in India. If you go and check this, and you'll be shocked at it. Check this data. Over 50%, if I'm correct, it's about 60% of all the members of Indian parliament have a criminal charge against them. Sounds very much like somewhere you know. In parliament. So, very similar issues. But yet, if you talk about a nation that is the poster child for corruption, for things that are not right, for 419. They don't call India. But India has 1.4 billion people, which means that they have more people doing the problem than we do. But we have managed to carry the poster. Why? What are they doing that we're not doing? There is a conversation that the Indian government and their people do that is different. They promote India and they make it seem as if that, you see all these bad people, we're not part of them. We will deal with them and all of that, but look at the good part of us. And that's what they do. They've understood. Create value that people can trust you to deliver, and that you will put frameworks that will cause people to express themselves. And so that's what they do. And it's working for them. So, who's a good case study? There's a good case study. They're not the best, but they're better than us for now.
So, one major aspect that I want to talk about, because you talked about collaborations or Nigerian monetizing such platforms. Now, how can government collaborate with industry stakeholders to promote innovation and entrepreneurship among entrepreneurs in the digital space?
Let me leave that example. One thing I know about most Nigerians, right, is that whenever the government approaches them and says to them that, as a government, that we have seen your business or we've seen what you want to do and we're willing to help. Very rare it happens, but every time the government calls on people, guess what? They come. So the issue is that Nigerians actually want to collaborate with the government, but more often than not, by the time they start that collaboration, there's somebody, some bad person, who will now see it as an avenue to create a hurdle. So what does the government need to do? The first aspect of it is understand that there's actually a willingness. There's a willingness for Nigerians to collaborate with government and government to collaborate with the Nigerians, so to speak. They're all Nigerians. Willingness is there. Now, after the willingness, what do you have to do now? When that call is made, as everybody is sitting in the room at the table, government is there, private sector is there, NGOs are here, we're all around the table, and everybody is talking. In the mind of everyone, they're saying, is this not just going to be another talk? Will they be serious? Will we be serious? Right. If you can pass that, this is not another talk issue, and that we're actually ready to do it, then you see that people have moved forward again, that they're ready to do it. Then the next aspect is that, how will it be funded? Then private sector NGOs, some of them say, okay, you know what? Let us have what we call counterpart funding. I will bring, you will bring, and let us put it together. All right. So, oftentimes, things break down at that level because nobody, if I put this money, will it be trusted? But there are ways around it. Now you put the money. Once the money comes, all right, what happens? Money is a problem. As soon as you bring money and that money shows up, then it's a different ballgame. So the question is, what was the end goal? What were you looking at when you started this? Were you actually looking at the impact and making it happen? Or were you looking at, when the money comes, how you can appropriate it for yourself? And I'm not saying that this is on the government side alone. It's on all sides. We have people who are criminally minded on this side. There are people who are criminally minded on that side. I think we need a mindset shift. We need to reorientate ourselves that as long as we continue to do this, this country cannot be safe for us. And if it's not safe for us, it certainly is not safe for our children.
Do you think we need international collaboration to have a major breakthrough in the digital space?
That's a brilliant question, because it's not a yes or no, black or white question. So the first aspect of it is that you cannot, there's nobody who is an island. So if you decide that, you want to just develop everything on your own, you're not going to talk to anybody, you're not collaborate with anybody, then you find out that very, very quickly you can't work. There's nothing that you're wearing today that was developed from one place. Every single thing came from everywhere, from different countries and all of that. So collaboration is necessary. What the difference is this. You see, every time I have been to a negotiation, right? If I'm going to a negotiation as a private sector person and I'm going to negotiate with the counterpart on the other side as private sector, I'm prepared. I know what I want. I know why I'm coming for that meeting. I have prepared everything as to what I want to get out of it. And then we get there. Now we negotiate. At the end of the day, we find a win-win situation that would help both of us. I need something from you. You need something from me. We come to an agreement and we move forward. Sadly, I have also been on government delegations where we go to a country to negotiate for something that is beneficial for the nation. And the people, they don't even know who they are going to meet. There is no preparation for that meeting. They get to the meeting, and as soon as they get into the country, they want to collect the extra code, go and stay in the cheapest hotel they've collected the money for the good hotel. They collect it and they want to stay in the cheapest hotel. Then from there, they're going shopping. The negotiations that I've seen on the other side, before we come, they know who you are. They've already done a detailed analysis of who you are, what your position is in government. Are you a decision maker or are you just somebody who is coming in? Then they know what they are seeking from you. And more often than not, when we sign those deals, we have signed the deals that sign away our rights. Collaboration is good, but know what you want so that when you are traveling, you are going for those meetings, you are coming prepared. You're coming prepared. But sadly, we do so many things that we're not prepared for.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Cole. And I hope that when next we need you, you oblige us so much.
God bless you.
That is all we can take for now. Let's go back to the program for more. Stay with us.
It's new, it's fresh, it's all about policies and strategies. Watch out for NIPSS Policy TV programs on NTA News 24. Tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, Star Times Channels 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703. Miss this and miss out on policies that will affect you and our country. Join us.
Keep watching.
Keep watching NIPSS Policy TV.
The Women's Economic Empowerment Policies aim to create an environment where women have equal opportunities to participate in and benefit from economic activities. These policies recognize that empowering women economically not only benefits them individually, but also contributes to overall economic growth and development. The two-day forum on the adoption of the Women Economic Empowerment Policy continued in Abuja with various key discussions and workshops to address the challenges and opportunities surrounding the implementation of the Women Economic Empowerment Policy at the local level. The participants, including state commissioners for women affairs, had the chance to exchange insights, best practices, and strategies to effectively integrate and adapt the policy to suit the unique needs and contexts of different states and rural communities in Nigeria. Professor Olufumilayo Paramalam MNI, the Director of Studies at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies NIPSS, did a presentation on policy implementation, which was followed by a question and answer session.
So looking at tips and steps for effective policy implementation, and then we also need to understand our context, our policy environment. What is the culture that we need to be aware of, the Nigerian policy terrain in terms of helping us to manage change. Very often people design wonderful policies in Nigeria, but they don't take cognizance of the policy context. And that policy context can often make or mar the success of any policy. So that's why that's important. So what's the impetus for the WE policy implementation? It's really about marshalling, harnessing our national human assets for transformative change. And just recently we had a big CEO from the private sector, Ivana Osage, that came to us in NIPSS, and she said, "Look, oh no, I think it wasn't her. It was Mrs. Ibukun Awushika, former First Bank manager, who said, look, it doesn't make sense for any nation to downplay the economic value of 50% of its human assets. So mobilizing 50% of your human assets makes sense. It makes economic sense. It makes sense for global competitiveness. So it's about mobilizing the assets to see women economic policy as a national development catalyst. It is a strategy for national development. But I want to put out a poser there that is not so much about working for women as it is working with women. And very often when it comes to policy, we have been very satisfied to design policies for women, but forget that we need to talk to the real women on the ground and find out their needs. I love what Fatima did in Kebbi State, speaking directly to the women, listening directly to the women. And a lot about what I'm going to say today is really saying enough of technocrats, highly placed women, politicians and scholars thinking for women, rather getting to know the women themselves and speaking to them, listening to them, and designing and implementing policies with them.
My question is, the domestication of the WE policy now, does it have any unintended or unforeseen consequences? And if so, how do we address it?
The first question, are there unforeseen consequences, potentially unforeseen consequences from the domestication of WE? Definitely. Every single policy has potentially unforeseen consequences. It comes with the territory. Why? Because the space in which you are trying to implement the policy has different constituencies who have different needs, different ideas, different understanding, different ideologies. So of course there's going to be contention and there are going to be unforeseen consequences.
The issue of managing talent. And I'm wondering, in the public space, how that is possible. And the same thing with performance measurement. Wherein is that it's not performance that really gives you the promotion, and how best to do that. The second question I have is about coordination. You raised one important and the issue of linkage or overlapping. I'm trying to say, and especially for Ministry for Women Affairs in the state, where in quite a lot, there are some that are very strong, but for quite a number of them, they are very weak. The commissioner, they will give you very weak. And how do you see the coordinating and providing that coordinating work to implement the reform? Yeah, the State Ministry of Women Affairs to implement we.
So thank you for that brilliant question. Managing talent. Honestly, I teach about this in NIPSS, and I'm trying to also practice it as the director of studies. And I found out that in the public space, managing talent is very difficult. Why? Because people have an entitlement mentality. Entitlement that after 3 years, after all, I must be promoted, whether or not. And if the person is not performing or they're performing, they expect that they should be promoted, or they expect that you put my colleague to go for this, me too, I must go for this. It's honestly a big problem in the public sector. Then what about the capacity of state ministries of women affairs? Now let's be frank. Thank God our sisters are here with us. You have to feel really seriously bad for people in the Ministry of Women Affairs. We did a research some years back, the least funded ministry in Nigeria at federal and state level is Ministry of Women Affairs. Oh, so even at the UN level. Am I echoing? That's what we found. And we found it's a Herculean task to even get any sort of institutional funding or support for programs. And so many of them have to rely on international development partners. But this is where I feel we need to build a consortium. And I've been talking about this for some years now. I'm building a network across all the ministries to build a consortium to secure major international funding. I feel as if we are not leveraging enough on international funding. I think there's much more international funding out there than we are even accessing. And I think if we build a consortium, you understand, in other words, come together and say, look, what are really our needs? Have a stakeholder analysis, a needs assessment, and find out and build a consortium.
Participants at the two-day forum are hopeful that the forum will yield to increased awareness and commitment from state commissioners towards prioritizing women's economic empowerment, development of tailored action plans for each state, establishment of collaboration frameworks with local stakeholders, improved coordination and monitoring mechanisms to ensure the successful implementation of the policy at the grassroots level. They look forward to enhanced capacity building efforts, resource mobilization strategies, and a strengthened network to support for women in rural and underserved areas to access economic opportunities, resources, and entrepreneurship initiatives. While progress has been made, there is still much work to be done to achieve true gender equality in Nigeria. Overall, this initiative signifies a crucial step towards advancing gender equality, fostering women's empowerment, and promoting sustainable development in Nigeria, particularly at the grassroots and rural community levels. As a member of the National Institute, you are constantly supposed to be working, wherever you are placed, towards a better society.
I am the Commissioner of Police of FCT, Abuja. I rose through the rank. I joined the cadets of the Nigerian Police Force after finishing from the University of Nigeria and Soccer. I joined the force. That was in 1996. I rose through the ranks. Every rank that is needed in police, I rose through until last 3 years, 2022, when I became a commissioner of police. And in 2023, I was sent to National Institute, NIPSS, Kuru Jos. And I am course 45. The experience is very wonderful. It's a pressure cooker institution. It's a pressure cooker. And it's the same pressure I came here to, so they didn't know I had been cooked. When I came to Abuja as the Commissioner of Police, I told them that I'm already cooked in a pressure cooker. So the pressure the kidnappers, the armed robbers are putting on Abuja, I have to take it down. And I'm proud. I remember our strategic thinking, strategic management. I remember all we are doing, think strategically. And that's what I'm doing in FCT. That's what I have done so far. And that's what has resulted in different successes we have been getting. And you remember the motto of the National Institute, towards a better society. And towards a better society is what all of us are aspiring for. I am in Abuja now, a Federal Capital Territory, and ensuring a better society for all residents and indigenes of Federal Capital Territory. The motto of that school, the pressure cooking institution, the teaching you what you ought to know, whether you like it or not, and preparing you for a better tomorrow. That is what has kept me where I am. And I am proud of it. My philosophy of life is the life comes and goes. I have come, I can go anywhere, I don't know. I'm not the maker, I'm just a participatory person in life. We come and go, and that's my philosophy. I have come, I'm ready to go, I'm preparing to go, I prepare. Anytime it comes, I go. That's my philosophy. There's no time to unwind. That's one of the greatest things. There's no time. I'm sorry. And even my family knows that there's no time for me to unwind. That's one of the things that you can see me. Smarter now we enter the bush, we must ensure security. And ensuring security in a place like FCT entails a lot of things, a lot of strategic management, both men and material, a lot of strategic thinking above the criminal, otherwise you can't get them. They are evolving with different modus operandi. You have to be 2 steps or 3 above him, otherwise it will be difficult for you to do that, to catch them. So you have to think. And as a leader of internal security in FCT, you have to show a difference. You have to show capacity. You have to show that you know what you're doing. So, and furthermore, I want to say that the success that has been attributed so far in FCT is because of what the pressure I was cooked upon. Today, I may be getting an award from the Nigerian Police Force entirely, and I owe it to the pressure cookers in Kuru, and I am proud of it, and I owe it to them. And especially like my dutiful Inspector General of Police, you know, when he came to NIPSS and gave us a charge, when you do well, so that when you come out, you have to make us proud. That was one of the things he charges us every day. Remember, you are from Kuru. Remember, you are from National Institute. You have to show the difference. And because himself is equally a very intelligent police officer who always tell you about intelligent-driven policing. And that is what has combining, that's what has kept me. The present IG is part of my mentoring group, And I have been a mentee to a lot of ex-police officers, former IG, almost 4 or 5 former IGs. I have worked under them. People like Simeon Midenda, John Haruna, Musa Bello, they're all crime fighters in force. All of them, I went through their tutelage. And that is why I don't fear a criminal and I don't fear a bandit. They ought to fear me because there's a great difference between light and darkness. And that is why I am light. So when I come, they should disappear. And I don't care how they disappear. It may be by fire or by force, but they must disappear. A lot of experience. You know, I've been a commander in different areas. I fought Boko Haram. I fought Boko Haram in Damaturu. I was the commander investigation of Operation Restore Order 2, Damaturu. And I was Commander SAS in FCT for 7 good years. I went through a lot of things in order to succeed. I fought in different states, banditry, terrorism, I did. So I have a lot of experiences. And that is why the one I have seen in FCT, I'm able to surmount them. Because I have seen more daring situations and surviving by a whisker. And that is truth. One of the things I have said is that, like I told them that there's institutions that we ought to visit, especially depending on the theme of the year. And that is let me say, resource persons that must be invited. You must hear from, you must interrogate them before you make conclusions. Before you make conclusions, there's some you must interrogate, which will make even change your thinkings. It will change the narrative of where you are going. And it's very, very important. There are some visits, especially international visits. If there is comparative analysis, you have to draw inferences from them. So you need to go and come back before doing conclusions. You understand? It's very, very important. If those things can be put in place. We wrote one of the best presentations to the president, Sec 45. You saw our presentation. We wrote on industrialization, energy security, and climate change. You understand? Issues, problems, and prospects. And it was very wonderful because we were able to sit down and read and write and interrogate a lot of people, a lot of factors, a lot of participants in the industry. And you saw it coming out very germane. So I would like Kuru to equally invite some stakeholders depending on the theme of the year. There's some stakeholders that are principal actors in those teams must be invited, or you go to them to listen to them. Very, very important. Because we don't want to lower the capacity or the capability of any write-up from Kuru. No. We have not to lower the standard, and we cannot allow it to be lowered, even when we have left. I've been a teacher. If it is the police force, many people know me. I've been a teacher in a lot of police actions. Many may not like my system because my system is crime fighting. I used to use sledgehammer to kill a fly in fighting crime so that the fly will not breed tomorrow. So that's the way I used to fight crime. And I have been telling a lot of people that Nigerians, when you see something, say something. When you see something and say something, you prompt us to do something. And I have been telling some policemen, every lead is a lead. If somebody call you and tell you, look at, check that thing out first. Don't discard it just with a wave of hand. Don't mind them. No matter what it is, there must be some element of or iota of truth in that lead you are getting. If you follow it, you'll be shocked on what you will discover. So it has been a principle in my life that has helped me to be known in so many things. So, like in Abuja, if you see how my phone is moving up and down, people are texting me different messages, WhatsApps, and it has been very wonderful. It has helped me to perform. So, when you say something, say something. When you say something, you police do something. Don't allow it to lie. If you allow it to lie low, you missed it. And when they sue you, if they say something to you and they see you do something, if they say another one tomorrow, they will still say it. Before you know it, you're already cleaning the society. And my juniors in crew, I told them that even when they contacted me that they are coming to Abuja, I said, make sure you are with your good paper and biko, because when you come back and do your presentation, you may be forced to go back, because it's not a common place. And I don't want them to lower the standard, the capacity, the integrity of NIPSS. No. I would not like them to lower the standard. So they should maintain it. Thank you so much.
Keep watching.
Keep watching NIPSS Policy TV.
It's new, it's fresh, it's all about policies and strategies. Watch out for NIPSS Policy TV programs on NTA News 24. Tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 26, Star Times channels 101 and 433, and Free TV channel 703. Miss this and miss out on policies that will affect you and our country. Join us.
Keep watching.
Keep watching NIPSS Policy TV.
In conclusion, the nexus of the digital economy, youth empowerment, and sustainable job creation presents a transformative opportunity for Nigeria's economic development. By addressing the underlying issues and challenges while leveraging the available opportunities, Nigeria can position itself as a hub of digital innovation, empowering its youths and creating sustainable job opportunities for the future. That concludes today's episode. I'm glad you tuned in. Till I come your way again, have a wonderful day and may God bless Nigeria. I am Chana Ejoga.